So here you can see I've got my 1/2. Now, you know that you could split a whole into a half. And you know that 2 halves is the same as 1/2. 1/2 is half of that whole. I'm going to move those to one side. You know that you could also split your shape into thirds. And you could have 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3. And together they would be the same, the equal length of your whole. You know that you could split a shape into quarters. So you know that you could split your whole into quarters. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4 is equal to or equivalent, everyone say the word equivalent, to your whole. You could also split it into sixths. Now I've got my sixth, so 1/6, 2/6, ooh, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6 is equivalent to that whole again. So I'll move those to one side. The last one we're going to look at for the time being is eighths. So again, you know you can split your whole into 8 equal parts. So 1/8, 2/8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is equivalent to your whole. Now, today we're going to be learning more about equivalent fractions, because you don't just get fractions equivalent to your whole. If I took my half, for example, if I've got 1/2 here, if I put my halves down here, and then underneath that I put my quarters, 1/2 could be 2 halves. It could also be 4/4. But what you'll also notice is if I take one of my halves away and 2 of my quarters away, you'll notice that actually 1/2 is also equivalent to 1/2. Let's put those back for now. Now, what about if I put my eighths underneath? So, if I've got my whole and I split it into 8 parts instead, you'll notice 1/4 is the same as 2/8. 2/4 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4/8. 1, 2, 3/4 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/8. Is 4/4 the same as 7/8? You'll notice it's not. So you'll notice 3 eighths is not equal to 2 quarters. It needs to be 4. 5 eighths, that's not equal. You need that 6th one, just like you need it here. If I move it up here, what do you notice about 1/2? You should have noticed that 1/2 is the same as 2 quarters, but it's also the same as or equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 4 eighths. Okay, so this time I'm going to move those down there, and this time I'm going to look at thirds. If I look at thirds, 2/3 is not equal to 1/2. They don't match up. They are equal to the whole, but if I include 6ths now, you'll notice that, just like with our quarters, we've got 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. Two-thirds is equivalent to 4/6. So that's 3/3 is also equivalent to 6/6. You'll notice that actually, if I took away my thirds, one half is the same as 1, 2, 3, 6. It's also the same as 2 quarters. It's also the same as 4 eighths. So you can use what's called an equivalent fractions wall, like this building blocks, to help you see which fractions are equivalent to each other.